Fantastic. Well, welcome everybody to the DYL Workflows Training. This is one of the most exciting updates we've had. This is going to really revolutionize the way that you follow up with your clients. So what workflows are, it's the ability to schedule all of your follow-up calls, texts, emails, and tasks with one click. So this is going to replace that current callback sequence and email drip sequence in DYL. It's going to be a lot more user-friendly and a lot more customizable. So what we're going to do here, first thing to show you is the workflow setup. So all you're going to do is go to your settings page, and then you see down here on the right under follow-up management, this workflow setup button. And you'll see here that we've already imported some preset workflow templates for you. We've polled a lot of different insurance agents about what types of follow-up they like to do. And so we've imported 7 or 8 of those in there. And you can see there are different scenarios, like if you sold someone an auto policy and you need to cross-sell them on a home or a future requote, life and retirement. So all of those are in there. And these are all customizable as well. So if you want to go in and edit any of these, you just click View or Edit, and you'll see all of these in here. And then you can also create your own. So I'll show you that first, is just how to create your own workflow. So you'll just go in here to New Workflow, press that, and you'll see you can make a name. So if I just make this Test Webinar 3, for example, you can type a description here, say for new customers, and then you'll see who to assign it to. So you can assign this to certain departments, which I'll show you in a bit as well. So let's just say I make this a sales workflow. So once I create that, you'll see my completely blank slate here. So the first thing you can do is see this top bar. This will just be your first action. So if you want the first follow-up item to be a call, a text, an email, or a task, you can do that right here. So let's say the first thing I want to do is a call. So you'll see it automatically puts the colon here, and you see when it delivers. So when it says deliver in, you can pick your time. So if you want this to be an instant call, the second you hit the button and trigger that call, you can do that. Or if you'd like this to go at a certain date, time, you can do this, a minute later, 20 minutes later, a month later. So you can really customize whatever you want here. But let's just say we want this to be 20 minutes later. And then all of your follow-up items will be onto the right here. So say if the next one wants to be a text message, you click the text icon, and this will bring up your text box. So those of you with preset text templates, if you'd like to select those already, you can do that. So this says, hello, please buy from me immediately. Or if you want to make your own, or just kind of make these from scratch, you can do those here. And you'll see these short codes at the bottom. So these short codes will actually import your leads information and your information into this box. So all I have to do is go type in, hi, first name of the person. This is my full name at the company. And I can have this call to action. I can have my phone number, anything like that in here. And again, you can customize when you want that text to go out. So if you'd like that to go out at the same time as the call, you can do that. Or if you want this to come the next day, however you want to work it that works for your business. And that same type of setup will be for your emails as well. So the same thing, you've got your templates if you have those preloaded, or you can also use that same short code functionality. So you just type your subject line in here. So I do, hi, welcome to Workflows, for example. And then you can type your content in here, same short codes, all this stuff is the same. And the only difference with this email template is that you can also click the advanced button. What that does is actually pull up a full text editor. So if you want a really fancy looking email with bold text, I can go in here and select bold. I can indent, I can make things centered, make this look however I want. Or even if you have a fancy HTML template that's already pre-coded and you'd like to just cut and paste that in here, all you have to do is click this source code button, and you'll see that's where you paste your HTML. If those of you that are very tech savvy, do that right here. And then the final option here is the task. And a task is just anything that is not time sensitive. So a task can be reviewing a policy or checking the finances or whatever it may be, just something that's not tied to a time. And then you can put your tasks in here. And you can have as many workflow items as you want. So if you want this to go a day later, 12 days later. You can have this go out for months and years at a time. So this is great for that long-term follow-up, sort of set it and forget it. That way you're not constantly trying to remember to do this. This will always be there for you. So that's just a quick little look at the workflow setups. We also have a lot of documentation on this in the help section. So not to worry, if you get stuck on anything, if you just click on help, you'll see here there's a workflows button, and that will take you to the full document that's 30 pages, lots of good information. There are also links to videos in here as well. So that's a look at the settings for the workflow setup. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is create user roles, because basically what this is going to be is the user role will create buckets for different workflows. So your salespeople, your customer service people, they'll all be in different roles. And all you do here is go back to your settings page and click user roles. So you see a few options here. And this may look a little confusing, so I'll spend a little more time on this. The first thing you'll see here is this workflow reassignment. So what that's going to do is basically allow users in different roles to take a workflow from somebody in another role. So for example, if I have a salesperson who has gone through a workflow, makes a sale, this will allow your service staff to take over that workflow and put them on a customer service workflow to make that seamless transition. So all I have to do is just for that ability, just click yes for the permissions. And then you'll see your user roles here. Very easy to add. You just click add role. So if I make super role, I can just hit update here. And then you'll see there are no users in there yet. So all I have to do is click edit. And I can select all the users in my office that I want to have that role. So if I want Nick and Jared and Carly to be my super users, I can do that. You'll see they're selected here. And then I can also specify what roles they can take leads from. So if I only want my service people to take leads from sales and not vice versa, I can do that here. You click update, and that sets those permissions. And then you can do this for different roles. You can make as many of these as you like. So that's just a little look on the user role settings. And then really quickly, before we get into the fun meat and potatoes of the custom workflows, we'll talk about the lead routing. So you have a few options here. Most people will probably be on this normal lead connect distribution. That's what DYL has always been like, this automatically calling your phone, you press 1, and then it assigns the person, once they make contact. But if you'd like to auto-assign your leads and you'd like to automatically have a workflow, you can do that. So all you do is instead of lead connect, you just select auto assign. So that will automatically assign your leads. And you can do this in a round robin method. And you can also, again, have your destination to that role. So it just assigns leads to people in that role. So if I want only salespeople to have the auto assign, and then you just select what workflow you want to happen. So you can do this for different lead types as well. So you can have this default for every lead, or if I want to go back and say, okay, I want just for my different source, like say for all web leads, I can do that. Or even the type of lead, if I just want auto loans to go to these certain people, you can do that here. But again, lead connect or auto assigned will be your big two options here. And then down below, this is your retry call. So again, if you have that lead connect, that normal functionality we have where it calls your phone when the lead comes in, you can set how many callback attempts you have with your agent. So that way, before the workflow starts, it's not assigned. You can have this follow up a minute later, 5 minutes later, and how aggressive you want to be with your own staff to have those calls coming in. You can customize all that right here. And finally, we'll just take a look at the email integrations. So again, you're going to go back to your settings and then to email follow-up. So a couple of people are going to have, this will be where a few people have different setups here. So I'm going to kind of go do the general one first and then some specific use cases. So under this email settings, you'll see your options here. You can upload a photo. So if you just go to edit settings and hit upload new image, just make sure it's 100 by 100 pixels. You'll see the send auto flow emails button. What this will do is if you have the built-in email client where it's sent through DYL, it'll automatically send those emails out without manual review. So if I want that to happen, I'll just click the checkbox. But if I want to manually check each email before it goes out, then I'll just keep that unchecked. So if you'd like to send your emails using DYL servers, sending from DYL, you're going to want this setup here where it says built-in email client in DYL. So if you want that set up where it's just automatically going out, it would look like this. And then some specific use cases. So those of you with Allstate, what you're going to want is, instead of this built-in email client, you're going to want what's called the system email client. Because what that's going to do is pull up your email provider. And in this case for you, you'll have a little selection that says Outlook web app. And any Allstate people that have questions with that, if you go to the help section, you'll actually see a link to download that Allstate web app. And then you'll just select it here, and that'll set it up that way. And then those of you that would like to send emails through Google, you can do that as well. So those of you with Gmail type accounts, you can do that here, and you can do either built-in or system. And all that's going to do is let you authorize. So you click this authorize button, logs you into Google, and then we can either send it on your behalf through the system, or if you have this other setting, the system email client, that'll just pull up your Google account and send. And then the final use case would be is if you own your own email server, and you're allowed to externally connect to other providers, you can put in your own information. So in that case, you would just click other server. I would suspect that most people will not have this set up, but you would just put in your server and port information here, and Service can help you with this, but this will be pretty rare for people to use. So that's just a quick thing on the what type of email settings you'll have. And then more importantly are these template presets. So this will be the information that goes into your email signature and your body here. So you see you have your name, your company name. If you want to put your Facebook and other social media links in here, you can do that. So, and this will be specific to each person. So just make sure your staff, if they are on workflows, to have these templates set up. And again, this is just in settings and then email follow-up. So a quick look at that. And then a couple other things here, just some changes. The normal lead connect tab, that leads tab that is normally in DYL. Now this is only going to be your unassigned leads. So once a lead gets assigned, it'll be in the workflows tab. So when you click on leads, this will just be your unassigned stuff here. So again, this will just be checking to make sure things get assigned. What you'll most likely be doing is you'll be in this workflows tab. So what this is going to do is this is going to show all of your action items over a period of time. So if I want this to look at just today, if I can go by week or the whole month, whatever time frame I want. So let's just say I want to look at today's actions. You'll see here, like say this one with Cindy McConnell, I've got an upcoming text message. And I can sort these any way I want. So if I want to sort these and just see my overdue items, I can do that. But let's just say I want to see everything. You can also sort by date. So if I want the overdue stuff first, all kinds of sorting. You can sort by the type. If you only want to see your calls or texts or emails, right here. And then even what workflow it's on. So if I only want to see what workflow, you can click that item here. But basically, this will just be a way for you to parse out different leads. But most of the time, you'll have all of these available to you, just so you want to see everything. So take a look here. I see I have this overdue text that was pretty late. So if I want to text this sample lead, all I have to do is click this text button. So you see this short code is already in here from the template. If you'd like to edit any text messages before they go out, if I want to customize it, like let's say I already talked to them, so I want to just say, great talking to you, I can do that. Or if I just want to send as is, I just click the send button here. And those of you with companies that require consent for text messaging, you'll just see a little consent box here. So just make sure you click that to ensure that you have consent and you are compliant. Same thing with any other action. So if I look at and I say, look, I've got a call to Marco, I can go in, and you see it's queued up here. When you have that call scheduled at a certain time, it will call your phone. unless you are on another workflow or dialer call. So if you're already doing a workflow call, it's not going to blow up your phone. It'll just say here, and you'll see this queued button. So those will be queued for when you're ready to make those subsequent calls. You can do that right here. And if you ever want to manually make a call, you can do that. So let's say if I want to call Bessie, I just click the button. That'll connect it. And then you'll see it's complete here. And you can also mark things as completed. So if you do these manually, if you call somebody on your cell phone or whatever it may be, you can manually mark these as complete as well. And same thing with the email. So depending on how your email is set up, if I click email, you'll see this is sending manually through DYL. This pops up a little pop-up box here. If you are going to an outside email client, when you hit that button, it'll pull it up in your Outlook web app or your Gmail or whatever outside service you're using. So if you want to send those emails, and again, you can customize this any way you want so it doesn't feel like a generic email. It can reference a conversation or whatever you have specific to that client. You can also attach items as well. So if you'd like to attach a policy quote, an ID card, you can easily attach that right here. So this will just be the look at your workflow dashboard. This will probably be, especially for those of you agencies that have a lot of LSPs doing follow-up, this will be where they are a lot of the time, because this will just show you day by day what they're doing. And then let's just take a look at the individual leads page. So you can also obviously assign workflows to people automatically if you're auto-assigning, but if you're using the Lead Connect and when a call comes in, you get that lead and you want to just assign it, you can do it right here on the leads page. So let's say I've got this lead and it's already assigned to me. I can select what workflow I want it to be on. So if let's say I sold this person an auto policy and I want to cross-sell them on a home. So I select my auto no home workflow. It'll click, are you sure? Select yes. Now you'll see this brand new workflow here. So again, you see these upcoming items. All this is assigned to me. So I can go ahead and click assign to me. All the text, calls, emails, this will all show up in this agenda. And same way you can do it in the dashboard, you can customize this. So when you pull up a text, customize your text, you can have it sent out through here. Mark it as complete manually. So if they call you before your scheduled time, you can just mark that as complete. Or I want to delete an item. Let's say I've already talked to this person today and I don't need to text them. I can just exit out and that'll cancel that item. And you can also reschedule these as well. So if I have a call at 2 p.m. and I want to reschedule it, you'll just see this little pencil and reschedule workflow. If I click that, you'll see the new time. Now, one important thing to note here is that if you reschedule an item in a workflow, like let's say I reschedule this call, this will reschedule everything after that as well. So if I push it out another day or two, you'll see this kind of pushes everything out as well after that. So instead of the 25th, this follow-up email is now on the 27th. So just keep that in mind. If you want to push something out, it'll push out everything. And if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to mess with any of the subsequent workflows, you can still manually do things in here as well. So if you want to manually send a text or an email or make a call, you can always do that as well, or just set an appointment. And that'll, so the normal appointment feature with DYL, hey, call my phone at 11 a.m. and you'll see this appointment in here. That's just a little look at the leads tab. And I know we got some folks in service answering some of your questions in here, but we'll take some of these live as well in just a second. Just want to show a couple more things and then we'll hop right into the Q&A. Those of you that are admins, you'll want to obviously look at the workflows for your whole office, right? So very easy to do. You're just going to go to reports and then go to workflow users. So if you are the administrator, you can see what everybody's doing in an account. So if I can see that Earl and Hubert and Bessie and Cindy, all of this stuff is here. So I can just look at my whole office at a glance. And if you'd like anyone else in your office, if you have a sales manager or service manager, to set that up for them, you're just going to want to give them settings for report access. So this will be on their user account, just giving them access to reports, and then they'll be able to pull that up as well.